Hey, what's up, everyone? This is your captain speaking. Let's do an audio check and then get this shit show on the road. I'm going to minimize some screens, turn the volume down, and pull up the other chat. So let me know when you guys can hear me, and we'll get started. Just waiting for YouTube to kick on here, the notification to go out. What's up, Gabe? Sounds good? Okay, let me turn this. Oop, talking to myself here. All right, turn that down. Okay, so welcome everybody to the weekly live stream Q&A. We can just take the weekly off of that real quick because I haven't been here in a while. Just been hunting season. You guys know I told you that about a month ago. This time of year it's just really busy with hunting. So what are you going to do? We got about 2 weeks left, and I'm debating if I'm going to keep going out because it's starting to get cold, but we'll see how that goes. Audio good. Thanks, guys. Let me know about the audio. Good. All right, so for those of you who are new to this live stream, all you got to do is put your questions in the comment section. No personal questions, no dick size jokes, no tit size jokes, no age, sex, location jokes or questions. Just put in reef related questions, and I'm sure we'll derail this show at some point and we'll start talking about some random stuff. But let's keep it reefy for the beginning, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. So yeah, I guess we'll do some announcements like we usually do while people are coming in. The fall coral sale, the buy one get one free on beginner SPS is official. All you got to do is check out with one of those corals that are in the title there, the description. It says buy one get one free, and I will put a second one in your order when I ship it. Okay, and then you guys can then you guys can use the promo code welcome back for 10% off. And yeah, so that's the only sale that's going on. I usually do that around this time of year, so it's nothing too exciting. Just kind of helping you guys out for those of you who want to start growing SPS. Anyways, yeah, demonetized already. Yay. YouTube, hey, that's what YouTube does, man. I'm not worried about it. We got the dog laying on my feet. What's up, dude? He's just chilling. Last time he was down here, he rolled over and hit the power strip and turned my computer off. So if this just goes blank, you know what's up. So let's go ahead and get the rest of the video going in the background. All right, that's uploaded, and yeah, we should be good to go. All right, so let's move on to some questions here. Let's scroll back up. Let's see what we got here. How do I recover chalice? Well, it depends on kind of what state it's in. Do you still have some flesh on the chalice? Does it seem like there's any kind of, I guess I wouldn't say polyp extension, but more or less at night, are you getting sweeper tentacles, feeding tentacles? Is it completely pale? Are you seeing a skeleton? Those are things I got to know. I guess the rule of thumb is with chalices, they really don't require a lot of light. And 9 out of 10 times why you're having problems with a chalice is because the light is just too high, or you have it too high up on your rock structure. So if it's starting to pale out, or starting to kind of recede within the skeletal structure, then just go ahead and bring the chalice down, give it a little bit less light, maybe throw it in the shade, and you should be good to go. I mean, other than that, just make sure your tank isn't a piece of shit, and then you'll be able to, grow chalices. That's about the best advice I can give you on that one. Let's go ahead and torch. So not only you're fucking up chalices, you're killing torches. Well, see previous answer for that one as well. Let's go ahead and move down. Deer tacos. Yeah, you're right. I love me some deer tacos. It's a weekly thing around here. Definitely eating that shit. Let's go to move down. Oh, I thought maybe a bear had you stuck up a tree. No, not this year. I didn't see a bear, which is I guess a good thing. I did get that 9-pointer, or it's my 8 1/4 pointer, and then I got some doe tags left. I got to fill, just kind of freezer tags is what we call them around here. And yeah, so maybe I'll snag one before the end of the season. Let's go to move on. Hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Haven't seen you in a while. Gabe, I just moved my tank. It's been a week and nothing has died. Congratulations, I guess, Gabe. I lost a little color, but everything looks good. How long until I can breathe again? I don't know. Are you alive right now, Gabe? Are you breathing right now? No, just messing. Dude, you're fine. Don't sweat it, man. I mean, if you haven't lost anything yet, I guess you're kind of over the hump. Usually the first week is about the time, or the first couple days after you move a tank, you really know if you're going to do any significant damage. So I want to sweat it, man. Just keep everything as stable as you can and consistent the way, or at least the way it was in the previous setup, and you should be fine. I don't want to worry about it. You've been around for a while. All right, moving down. Added some new macro rock to a tank. Dino popped up, tested nutrients at 0. So started dosing nitrate. Just wondered if the rock or low nutrients? Well, if you I don't know how much rock you put in there. You said some new. If you put a lot of rock in there, it's not. I don't know how to explain it. It's not gonna lower your nutrients. If anything, it's gonna take time to build up the beneficial bacteria. You didn't mention anything about curing that rock previously. Freaking a little bit of a tritz there. Fucking pulling a Biden or some shit. Anyway, so I'm not gonna go off on that. Don't even get me started. Yeah, you didn't say if you cure the rock. Ideally, you want to cure your rock before you put it into a tank, regardless of it being set up. That way you get that beneficial bacteria film on the rock, and you don't have to worry about getting that turf algae or any kind of dinos and all sorts of shit that might attach itself to new rock. Yeah, I would say you definitely want to get your nutrients above zero, regardless if the rock is new or whatever. Just focus on keeping your nutrients stable. You should be fine. Dog got tired of saying "play with me" and went straight to action. Yeah, I didn't realize that the power strip was facing that angle, and he's just like, "Yo," rolling over, and all of a sudden shuts everything off. Thankfully, I was only on Pornhub, so I just had to restart the computer, so I was all right with that. But this shit happens, right? The tank is back to sucking elements like crazy already. That's good. Hey, Gabe, if you're back to consuming alkalinity and calcium relatively normally, then you're fine, man. I wouldn't sweat it. It sounds like you're doing pretty good. I think you're over the hump. Next question. I lost everything in my tank except for some random stuff, and my clams rebuild coming soon. Okay, so I lost everything in my tank except some random stuff, and my clams rebuild. Is this a question, or are you just telling me that you suck at reefing? I'm just fucking with you, man. Is there a question? Let me scroll down and see if you said something else. I don't see your name anywhere else. Yeah, moving on. Next question. My tank had undetectable NO3 and PO4. Watched your video and will I need... Okay, fuck me. Okay, my tank had undetectable NO3 and PO4. Watched your video and will I need to continue dosing until the end of the world or hold steady evenly eventually? Okay. So it depends. Your feeding methods, your routine, your schedule for cleaning your tank and stuff. So what I'm gathering from this question is that you started dosing, and you want to know if you have to continue dosing for the entirety of the tank. The answer is no. I think if you don't want to dose, you can maybe increase your feeding, maybe get a little bit more fish in there. You could just find other ways to increase your nutrients a little bit more naturally than dosing. For me, it kind of fluctuates depending on feeding. Sometimes I get a little out of hand and I feed the fish extra just to kind of calm them down from kicking their own fins. And sometimes I end up, increasing the nutrients a little bit. Sometimes I miss a couple days because I'm really busy and I forget, oh crap, I didn't feed the fish. And, nutrients will plummet at that point. So if you want to stay consistent, dosing is a good way to do that. Having it on an automatic dosing pump, like a Dose or something like that from Neptune, or DOS or Dose. I still don't know how to pronounce that. DOS or Dose, whatever. And keeping a consistent dosing, it not to the point where you're on the verge of maybe having too many nutrients, but just having at least knowing something's getting in there. That's what I do, and it seems to be fine. And then you can adjust your feeding based on where you're at on that. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me go ahead and get down here. Hi, Travis. My Coraline Algae started to fall off the back glass. Is that normal? I did ICP tests and everything came back normal. Well, now when the Coraline fell off, did it turn white? And if it turned white, it usually indicates that you had either a drop in alkalinity or calcium. Gonna burp. Whew. I did that in the opposite direction. So if it didn't turn white and it just fell off, that could happen. It's happened in my tanks before. Not all Coraline Algae is the same. So I wouldn't worry about it. If it's purple and it's still floating around, it's just kind of sitting at the bottom of the tank, I wouldn't sweat it. But if it's turning white and then falling off, maybe consider checking out your alkalinity and your calcium fluctuations. Not exactly what's on the ICP test, but maybe test daily for a few days to see if you're having any major fluctuations with either one of those. Primarily alkalinity, because that really determines the success of your Coraline Algae. Hey, let's take a bow here. Who thinks I'm answering these questions and talking too fast? Because I'd be interested to know. I just don't want to fall behind like I usually do. All right, moving down here. Travis, my elk consumption has really ramped up over the past few months. 75 ml elk a day, or calcium a day. Your advice has made it possible. Every one of your frags have just taken off. I have 25 frags from you. Sweet, man. Yeah, I've definitely recognized the name. You're one of a few people that order pretty consistently, so I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, 75 milliliters a day isn't too bad. Just keep an eye on this, and I don't know how big your tank is, Brian, but keep an eye on your salinity. Once you start increasing your 2-part dosing and you start getting up to the that 100 ml a day or 200 ml a day, you're going to end up running into salinity problems, and that's something you might want to consider. I don't know how long you plan on keeping this system up. I know with the 125, it started off relatively small, and then I got up to about 250 milliliters per day, and then I ended up having to do water changes every single week at 1.0, I think 2.4 or something like that, just to bring it down from 1.027. So just keep that in mind. You are adding salt to your tank when you dose 2-part, so just keep that in mind if you're going through a ton of stuff. So, but yeah, glad it's working out for you, man. Appreciate the support on that. Okay, I'm getting down here. Okay, next question. Travis, what Tang is your favorite? Oh man. Sailfin? Yeah, Sailfin Tang. I mean, as a whole, I love Tangs. You guys know that. I just really love them. But I guess if I had to pick one, I would say Sailfin. I don't know. I just really like kind of how they get really tough and then they puff out and then you just see all the stripes and stuff. I don't know. I just really like them. So I'd say Sailfin. Okay, here we go. Here's John. Lost everything in my system except clam and fish. Rebuild coming soon. Need to get my SPS stock back up. Well, John, head on over to fishofhex.com if you're in the United States. And like I said, buy one, get one free on that SPS. And then, use the promo code welcome back. And you guys can use that as much as you want. It gives you 10% off your order. So, yeah, check it out, man. All right. Is curing rock to build up nitrifying bacteria or breaking down organics on the rock? Getting ready for a new build and highly considering curing the rock, as I've heard good things. Curing your rock, depending on the rocks you have, is actually really beneficial. So if you have stuff like Pucani or maybe something from a previous build that is, maybe not as clean as it should be, like it just plain old, Reef Saver or something like that, curing the rock not only breaks down those organics and then, allows you to build up the beneficial bacteria, not only on the surface of the rock, providing a protective layer against algae, but also in the rock where you get that denitrifying bacteria that will help the tank kind of just run through its whole process. And so curing rock, regardless of the type, is always recommended just for that specific reason. But if you especially have dirty rock like Pucani, curing it for a few months and then doing 50% water changes every couple weeks is definitely something that I would recommend just to make sure that stays clean for your new build. Because the last thing you want to do is throw in dirty rock and then spend okay, let me back up. So I tell people that have dirtier rock and they're starting a build, what's easier? Putting all your rock in a brute trash can, say 50 gallons, and doing a 25-gallon water change every 2 weeks and removing the same amount of nutrients as if you were to put all that rock in a 125-gallon and doing a 50% every a couple weeks on that. Plus, you're not exposing it to light and all sorts of crap and temptation to turn on lights. Because I have a lot of people that I've talked to who have said, I'm just going to cure my rock in my tank and I'll leave the lights off for 3 months. Well, good fucking luck with that, because you're going to get about a month in and be like, so I'm about done looking at this tank with no lights on it. So I'm going to turn the lights on and then the shit show starts from there. So, long answer. But cure your rock. Just do it, man. Do it. All right. On the rock curing topic, I have had rock in a tub for several months. Haven't really changed the water, but was seeding the rock. Any issues adding that rock back to the display tank? I would do some water changes. I would do a 50% water change every 2 days for maybe a week or two, just to kind of remove any of the excess nutrients that might be in the water since you haven't been doing water changes. And so do that. Just do that and you'll be fine. What fish in you tank with orange upper bottom fins and whitetail? Orange. Okay. That is the flame fin tang. Almost positive that's what you're talking about. Yep. That is the flame fin. I just saw him on the bottom left there. He's pretty cool. It's relatively cheap fish on the grand scheme of Tang. So, and they don't grow that fast either. Okay, that guy's been in there for a while. He hasn't really gotten that big. So, yep. Oh, I will start it. You guys trying to trigger me, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. I want to keep this live stream going in the right direction. I don't want to get fucking flagged, man. Trying to make a living over here. You guys are baiting me in and get me flagged on YouTube as usual. So, anyways, you mentioned you had an idea about adding some trolls back to keep it interesting. Is that still going to happen? Hey, yeah, I guess I could do that. I might do that soon. I got some stuff coming here. Yeah, Scott's messaging me. He's harassing me right now. But yeah, I might add some trolls back in. I don't really mind. Everybody, it's the internet. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has something to say. I mean, you can't really offend me unless you talk about my bald, powdery head. And I am talking about the top of my head, by the way. Moving down. Ooh, Darren's here. What's going on, Travis? What's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. And that was what, 8:09. So welcome to the stream about 10 minutes ago. Next question. Hey, Travis, literally all year long, cyano treated right after green hair algae, battling green hair algae for 9 months, which has just started to improve. And now cyano again. How do I avoid the back and forth? Well, get your fucking nutrients under control. I mean, just look at the source. Why you got cyano? Why you got too many fucking phosphates? Friggin' phosphates. It's not appropriate for children. You got too many phosphates. That's why you have cyano. Why you have green hair algae? Because you got too many nitrates. And also phosphates contribute to that as well. So when you're dealing with issues like green hair algae and cyano, you need to step back and you need to look at your source. Go from the beginning, from the very beginning. Where are you getting your water from? Do you have an RODI system? Are you taking a shit in your freaking mixing barrel? I mean, you gotta look at these things and figure out what's going on. So find the nutrient source. Okay, it's either something you're adding, or when you built the system, you put shitty rock in there, or you did something incorrectly. You're doing something wrong. So find the source. Stop adding stuff in there. Stop trying to do quick cures or any of that crap. Just find it, man. Just find it. You're good. It's not that difficult. I went all the way down. I scrolled all the way down. Give me a second. Will you do another podcast style video? I enjoy those. Yes, I will be doing more content, believe it or not, guys. I will be doing quite a bit more. Just kind of waiting for the hunting season. I know if everything goes well this during this whole hunting crap, I get that done and everything kind of gets back to normal. Holidays are always busy. You guys know that stuff. I'm really hoping to get back on my normal 2 to 3 videos before the end of the year at some point. I mean, that's my goal. I feel like I've been out of the game for months now. I mean, I don't have too many excuses other than I'm sorry, I guess. But I will do some more podcast stuff. And if you guys have suggestions for podcast ideas or video types, feel free to put that stuff in the comment section of those videos. I tend to see most of your comments. I don't always get to reply to them, but I do tend to see them. So let's go to move down. You're decaying good, bro. Is that a sexual term? I'm just fucking with you, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. What do you think is Easter breeding or SPS only tank? Oh, fuck. Am I reading that wrong? I have an aneurysm. What do you think is Easter breeding or SPS only tank? Oh, fuck. My head hurts. Can somebody translate and then I'll look at the other screen? Unless I'm reading that wrong. Oh, easier. Okay. Breeding what? Is it easier breeding? Is it easier like growing SPS? Fuck, man, you're gonna have to you can rewrite your question, man. I'll check it out the other chat, man. Okay. Not that fast, Chatty Cathy. All right, thanks for answering the question, Scott. I'm trying to slow down. I mean, what are we in the rush? We're gonna do like an hour tonight, maybe a little bit longer, depending on, how off the rails we end up going at some point. Next question. On the dosing topic of NO3 and PO4, my nitrates are now detectable. But using the Hana phosphate checker still reads 0. Been dosing NO3 and PO4 for about 2 weeks. Okay. Okay, so on the dosing topic, NO3 and PO4, my nitrates are now detectable. Okay, cool. But using the, excuse me, fucking burping over here like an animal. Okay, so they're still reading 0. Then increase your NO3 a little bit. Or, sorry, your PO4. Increase a little bit and see if you start seeing numbers. If you're not seeing any cyano or any algae, then you need to dose a little bit more. So just keep an eye on that. I am liking all the 3D printed items I bought from you. They are coming in very handy. Hey, appreciate it, man. Yeah, Dan, you bought a lot of stuff for me. I remember. Appreciate that. Right now, I currently have 4 out of the 11 printers not working. They just need general maintenance. They've been running consistently for almost a year now. Jeez, it's almost been that long. Crap. And yeah, they just need some work. The filament sensors need to be adjusted. I'm starting to ooze filament because the nozzle's not tight. Just stuff. I gotta get in and work on those sometime this week. But yeah, appreciate the support on that, Darren. I bought a couple SPS frags. While I was putting them in, one broke, so I just glued both in and straight away the polyps were out. Checked today and where it broke is rounded up and growing. Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, if they break, that's fine. That's fine with SPS if it breaks off. It's not like an LPS, like a hammer or torch, where you break the skeletal structure and it cracks up to the head, then you have a little bit of a problem. But with SPS, if it breaks off, even during shipping, you can glue it straight to the rock structure, and it should be fine as long as your parameters are good, and it seems like yours are. Yeah, you should. It's good that it's working out. Soon you're gonna have a colony and be selling that shit yourself. Moving down. Tank is a 125 gallon. No salinity issues as of yet. We'll be upgrading to a 300 gallon in the next year, and we'll be on a calcium reactor. Thanks for the advice. Yeah, I mean, you're good. If you got another year left and you're not having any issues so far, then yeah, calcium reactor on a 300 is definitely a good idea. You'd be spending a ton on 2-part. I couldn't even imagine what I'd be spending on 2-part right now if I had to dose it on this setup. And speaking of calcium reactors, I actually have right now, I don't know if it's the media, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, is the media that I got, that new stuff, because Reborn was out. I don't remember. I wish I could see it from here. I got the barrel in the way. But anyway, I'm running 7 gallons per hour through effluent rate. So we're not dripping. We're doing 7 gallons per hour through the calcium reactor. I have the pH as low as I can possibly get before the media starts to turn to mush, and I can barely stay at 8 DKH. I don't know if I just, because I have a lot more stuff growing, the tank is starting to fill out again after cutting out all those colonies. Which, by the way, I'll do an update on the tank here shortly for you guys, so no sweat on that. And I don't know what it is. I'm struggling to stay above 8 DKH, and I can't turn up the flow anymore, and I can't turn down the pH anymore without melting or without completely dissolving or melting the calcium reactor media. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm actually going to see if I can get a hold of Reborn, or maybe try another media, and hopefully they'll be a little bit more potent, and I won't have to have the same issue. But yeah, I guess it's the struggles of being a boss, right? I'm just kidding, man. Anyways, moving down, next question. I didn't know it would regrow from broken tips. Yeah, SPS, man. SPS is one of those things that you can actually completely shave off of your rock structure, and if there's just a smidgen, a couple little polyps left on your rock that you miss, that shit will grow back. Trust me, it will grow back, because I'm running into issues already. Moving down. Hey, Travis, do you have to remove spur swarms? I don't know what the hell that is. Manual, or there another way to little fuckers go? Let me look the hell those fucking things up. I don't know what the hell that is. I see. Yeah, I'm gonna get that up there. I was gonna move my my browser up on the other screen. Not doing that. Okay. Better not be something dirty. All right, let me look this shit up and see what this is. Reef Tank. Oh, and I put that in there. It said spider worms. Okay. Let me look what that is. I'm gonna Google that shit. Spider worms, huh? Oh, I've seen those before. I don't want to worry about it, man. I mean, from what I see in pictures here, they don't seem like a big deal. But yeah, you might maybe it's wrong. Maybe you said it wrong. But when I put that in there, it asks me if I'm retarded, and then it corrects me and says spider worms. So anyway, moving down. Would you ever add a trigger fish into your tank? No. That's a big hell no. No. You guys know why I run a reef tank, right? Specifically to grow colonies and sell coral. Putting a trigger in there is pretty risky, and I'm not doing that. Spaghetti worms. Okay. Spaghetti. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it, man. Spaghetti worms, I mean, you can remove them if you want, but I've never had any issues with them. Plus, I think wrasses like to chew on those, don't they? I'm pretty sure a wrasse will chomp on that. I don't know. But thanks for correcting that up for me. Moving down. Oh, who the fuck's calling me? Oh, Doug's calling me. Oh, can't talk to you, Doug. Kind of busy. I don't know why you're calling me at 8:30. Anyway, next question. 90-gallon tank up for about 6 months now. I know you like tangs. And what and how many tangs can I do? You think I can add? Okay, I have 2 clowns, 2 cardinals, file fish right now. Okay, so you have a 90-gallon. You could probably put 1 tang in there. I mean, you could do 2. But man, I don't want to give you bad advice because I mean, shit, I'm not no tang police over here. But I mean, you could probably put in a couple smaller tangs if you plan on upgrading. Okay, but if you don't plan on upgrading, I mean, you might want to go something like the flame fin that doesn't grow very fast. I would stay away from blabingi tangs, sailfin tangs, hippo tangs, any tang that says it's a potential of 1 foot, at least 1 foot. I would stay away from anything like that. It's iffy with a 90-gallon. You in the beginning you can get away with it. I mean, you could put a hippo tang in a 30-gallon for 6 months and it would be fine. But I mean, you know, that's just not good. That's not good for the fish. It's not good for your wallet because then you either got to get rid of the fish, lose the money, or build a bigger tank. So just kind of set yourself up for success. I'd say stick with a smaller tang and maybe 2, maybe. All right, moving down. I have Tonga curing in a brute can using the method in your videos. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. My Pukani cure for 5 months. Yeah, it shouldn't take that long. I've heard that stuff isn't as dirty as Pukani, so you should be all right. I would still, you didn't say how long you have it in there? Did you say? You didn't say how long. A couple months. I mean, 60 days should be plenty to cure that stuff. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just keep an eye on your nitrates and phosphates. I mean, if you're in a decent range and it's been in there for a couple months, you should be fine. Would keeping my tank at a lower than recommended temperature, 22°C, at times be detrimental to corals, or as long as it's stable wouldn't be a problem? Well, I'm going to do the conversion on that. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. 22°C to phi. I said phi. Okay, 71.6. Well, I mean, 71 is still pretty normal. I would say you probably won't get the most optimal growth being at 71. But I mean, if you're looking for consistency and you can stay at that temperature, maybe it's better for your electric bill, or you don't have the heaters on as much, or you don't have a chiller running and stuff. You should be fine. Just stay consistent. Again, temperature fluctuations alongside like alkalinity fluctuations can be a problem. But yeah, I don't see any problem with 71. It'll be good. Do you direct feed your Lobo? If so, what and how often? I do not. I do not direct feed any coral in my system. I make my own food. You guys have seen that. I've done a few videos on that kind of stuff. And the way that it's ground up is I have feed mode on, which turns off the power heads, the skimmer, the return pump, the UV, all that normal stuff. And then I feed the fish. They kind of drag the food around the tank and particles are everywhere. And then the power heads will kick on and spread that food everywhere, which then the feeding tentacles come out on the Lobo. All the SPS polyp extensions, pretty good. They get a little bit of sliminess going on. And then they eat, and then the return pump kicks on, and then everything kind of just gets pushed over into the filter socks, and we go back to normal. So that's my method of feeding the entire tank. And I really do that just because of the way I make my food. It really allows you to have those fine particles, which the corals and especially the Lobo will definitely pick up and consume. So. But if I was going to direct feed, maybe do something like Reefroids or some other kind of food like that. But, I don't do that. Hey, Travis and fellow reefers. Corals ordered, doing great. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Good job. I'm impressed how your balls and wait, what? and powdery head kept from going political. Wish I could do that better. Yeah, there's no reason to bring that stuff here. I mean, we hear it every day. I mean, what's the point of listening to it on a live stream that has nothing to do with that topic? So, yeah, moving down. T5s plus Reef Brights, HX or XHO, or LEDs onlys. Let's say Hydros 52. Question? Yeah, that should be fine. I mean, those are all good. Those are all good. Good stuff. Just make sure you got the par and the spread that you're looking for, and then just make adjustments based on that. I got a little bit of water left, man. We're only freaking 30 minutes in. Do you sell that underwater Dremel attachment that I printed? I do not. I wanted to sell it, but then I talked to a lawyer friend of mine, and he said it wasn't worth the risk. You make some money on it, but one joker does something wrong with the Dremel, and that wire comes through and rips his damn hand open, or worse, the joker gets electrocuted because he sets the Dremel on the side of the tank. I just don't want to be held responsible for it. So no, I do not sell that, and I probably won't. It's just not. It's just not a good idea right now. But yeah. Hey, Travis, followed the 4-month cycle. Are you a big shit? You are the big reason for my success. Hey, appreciate it, William. I like hearing that stuff. I like to think that I'm helping people, and I appreciate you letting me know. What type of coral is the most profit in your opinion? I don't know. I mean, you could say higher end SPS because you could sell less of those, but at a higher price. But I can also say, hey, green digitata, I sell that stuff for what, $15 a pop, $20 a pop, and I do buy one get one free, and I sell hundreds and hundreds of frags of that stuff, all the time. So I don't know. I really think beginner SPS are my go-to because it's just, and the prices are good. I mean, if you're just starting to get into SPS and you can buy all different colors for like $15 a pop, it's it's worth a shot. You're not gonna really lose much. So let's go ahead and move down here. I should have brought more water with me. Shit, it's hot as balls down here. I don't know about you guys, but in Pennsylvania today, it did not feel like the last week at all. So it's sweating nuts down here, and the chiller kicked on too, so that's fun. All right, moving down. What's up, guys? Okay. Reef and chill. I had cyano for 5 months, no algae in the tank, so no false readings on my nutrients testing. NO3 5 to 10 and PO4 under 1 consistently. High flow. Is there low nutrient cyano? Fixed chemically. Let's see here. So you had no algae. I'm trying to think. Well, ChemiClean, I don't know. I see if you used. See, the ChemiClean can really just jack shit up, man. That's why I hate using chemicals like ChemiClean or fluconazole or stuff like that, or that what's that other one? Nopox and stuff like that, because they just cause issues in general. So, if you're seeing cyano, you have phosphates. Period. If you see algae, you have excess nitrates and phosphates. You do. So you said no algae in the tank, so no false readings on my nutrient test kit. Okay. NO3 5 to 10, which is roughly normal. PO4 is under 1 consistently. High flow there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just see previous answer. I mean, if you're seeing those things at all, then you do have elevated nutrients. I don't really know how I'm going to answer that question. I'm bouncing around here trying to figure out how to answer that correctly, but it's just not making any sense. So what the hell is Scott saying? Maybe I'll come back to that one. Just give me a second to kind of run that one through. Dick joke, check. Pornhub, check. Demonetize in the first 10 seconds, check. Burp, check. It's like you didn't take any time off at all. Yeah, I appreciate that, Scott. What the fuck is the temperature down here? Holy moly! Let me open up this damn door and let some freaking cold air in. It is hot as balls down here. I know it's because I'm sitting here sweating my balls off. Ruin my damn new shirt, my new chair with all this nut juice. Moving down. All right, let's go and see here. Spider worms. Yeah, we mentioned that. You guys are still talking about Biden, I see. All right, here. Hi, Travis. Do you run a UV sterilizer 24/7? Yes, I do. It turns off for several hours. So say I'm dosing like my bacteria supplements like Wednesday and Sunday. I do some bacteria supplements, and I'll turn off the UV for the rest of the day and then just turn it back on in the morning. And then it's off for a couple hours when I feed just because I do. I mean, there's no real reason for it. It just turns off part of the feed mode and then it kicks back on later. So, but yeah, 24 hours, 7 days a week, ideally for those exceptions mentioned. They are so seeing how you're around your system every day, why don't you dose by hand supplements and achieve your desired goal? Well, I run a business. I run a very complex business. You know, I got the coral stuff, which in itself is enough. I got all the 3D printing, all the new designs coming out. I got supplements. I got all sorts of crap going on. So it's easier for me to just have it run as normal or run automatically when it comes to dosing than it is to just remember things. I have enough time remembering to wipe my own ass, so I don't need to be trying to forget stuff. As a matter of fact, I didn't even feed the fish today, so I'm gonna have to do that after the live stream. So yeah, moving down. Which is the smallest tang that eats algae? I mean flamefin. I mean, that's a pretty small tang. Smallest tang. Yeah. I mean, you can get any tang really small. I mean, you can buy hippo tangs that are like 3/4 inch or even an inch. I mean, you can get any tang really small. It's just the question is, how long is it going to stay small for? Oh, hey, Travis. What's up? I'm setting up a brand new tank for my friend. What is the best way to speed up the cycle? Well, the best way would be to have some patience. You mean you can put bacteria in there, Acropora seed. I mean, you can do all that stuff to boost it, but ideally you kind of just want to, you want to let it just happen. Don't rush it, because if you rush seeding your tank or you rush the cycling process, you might be out of the hobby within a couple years, and you might shut down your YouTube channel for it. Moving down. Fish of Hex, where have you been, bro? Hunting? Yeah, hunting. Yep. Freezing my ass off, talking to myself in the woods, swearing at every squirrel that walks by. And if you have, did you get something? Yeah, I got my 9-pointer or my 8 1/4. Got him. I got him fucking 25 yards away, and he walked like 30 yards, sat down, and was dead. Huge pain in the ass to drag out, by the way, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. Still got a couple more tags to fill, though. Is this your full-time gig? Yes. Yes, it is. It's more than my full-time gig. It is my wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, go to bed at midnight gig. That's what this job is for me. In your opinion, can you keep all different types of corals in one frag tank? I know some softies like different parameters than SPS, or is it best to keep a separate system depending on the type of corals? Okay, so the hardest reef tank in the world to have is a mixed reef, because again, you are trying to make all these different types of corals that have different types of requirements happy. For me, having a primarily 99.9% SPS tank, that allows me to stay consistent with high flow, high lighting, lower types of nutrients, and that seems to be successful for pretty much all of those corals. When you start adding in torches, frog spawns, a bunch of different types of chalices and this and that, and gorgonians and all sorts of shit, you gotta make sure if you're gonna have a setup, then you're trying to keep SPS happy. Consider where you're gonna put those other corals, right? In general, that way, maybe put them lower, maybe put them in like some shaded area, or put them in a place where they're not going to get blasted with all the flow. Those are things you got to take in consideration when it comes to mixed reefs. Now, when it comes to a frag tank, I'm guessing maybe you're just trying to sell these things. I mean, they don't have to be 100% happy. It does help when it comes to taking pictures and stuff like that. I would say if you want to put your SPS directly underneath the lights so they get the most par, you're going to put those soft corals and LPS and stuff places where they might not get a ton of light. You're not going to want to put them in front of power heads where they're going to get blasted around and send sweeper tentacles all over. Those are kind of things you got to take in consideration when you're setting up a frag tank. But if you want to keep a separate system, yeah, you can do that. But not all of us can afford to have a whole bunch of different setups to keep individual corals happy. You keep on getting demonetized. You might as well give your money to buy. Thanks, Darren. Thanks for that one. I'm gonna grab a swig of juice here, or actually, it's just water with a little bit of I guess flavor squirt in it. All right. Your fish room is the ultimate man cave. Probably have a huge TV for private time. Wink, wink. Like I said, it's ultimate man cave. Yeah, I'm actually going to be moving some stuff around here soon. I'm going to try to get out of the basement a little bit because I'm down here all the time. I'm trying to move a lot of them. Like I just rebuilt the computer. I went from an i7, 3.6 gigahertz with 18 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte hard drive to a i9 9900K 5 gigahertz with 64 gigs of RAM with 6 terabytes of space. So I did some pretty big upgrades on the PC. And if you guys are on Instagram, you guys probably saw that stuff. And I did it primarily for editing videos and 3D modeling. And the point of this whole thing is I actually want to move this stuff kind of out of the fish room so I can, have better recording. You won't have to hear the fish room so much. You won't have to hear all the water and shit. It's just ready to get out of the fish room, to be honest. So we'll see. All right, moving down here. We're 41 minutes in. We got 80 people here. Appreciate that. Check my phone. No one's blowing my shit up. It's good. All right, moving down here. Wife got me a Waterbox 20 so I could come back to the hobby, and I just set it up 3 weeks ago. But I ordered an AI Prime 16 HD and never used them before. So what would be a good starting point to set them up? Well, I would say learn how to connect it to your phone. That's always going to be fun. And then, man, I'm burping over here like a crazy man. I would say start with the AB Plus Spectrum. I do have a couple videos on the 40-gallon shallow reef, also on the 300, where I show you guys the spectrum that I usually start with and then make adjustments on it based on par requirements and all that kind of stuff. But shoot for the AB Plus Spectrum and, yeah, do that. And then test your par, make sure you're where you want to be based on the type of corals you want to put in that system. And, yeah, have fun with it, man. And kudos to your wife for buying you a tank. Maybe someday I will be lucky enough to have that. Moving down. How would you start up a Refugium on a 120-gallon from the start and put your UV and skimmer online as well? How would you start up a Refugium on a 120-gallon from the start and put your UV and skimmer online as well? Okay, so when it comes to Refugium, you don't always have to start it when you start the system. Again, it's going to depend on your nutrient level, right? So, if you're rocking, decent nutrients, stable nutrients, then yeah, you can start up the Refugium. Just run it as usual. Run it, 16 on, 8 off, something like that, to just kind of start it up. Now, when it comes to your UV sterilizer and skimmer, again, you can run those the entire time when you're first starting up. Again, focus on nutrients and, just if everything seems fine, don't, try to do wet skimming or over skim or anything like that. Just kind of keep it general, and then just make adjustments based on that. But yeah, I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question. It's really not that complex. I mean, you can start that stuff when you start your setup. Oh, look, it's here, Glenn. Glenn, what's up, dudes? Been a while. Yeah, it's sure has. Can I use distilled water for my reef tank? I can't use RODI in my school dorms. So distilled water is just, don't they just boil that shit and then like fucking goes back down? I don't know I don't know if distilled water is what the TDS on that stuff is. I would say, I'll just sum it up as this because I don't use distilled water. I would say if it doesn't have 0 TDS, don't use it. Okay, if it has 0 TDS, then use it. I know that Brian, before he passed, when he did his clients' tanks, he used to get the water from Walmart, which I think the distilled water there, and they were fine. They were thriving with no issues. So he did it and was fine. So I'm assuming you can do it too. Moving down here. Yeah, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. I don't know how many we got. We do got 2 thumbs down. Ooh. almost stings. Hey, thanks for the boost in my analytics, though. All right, moving down. Hi, Travis. How often do you do water changes, and how many percents each time? I don't really do any water changes on the 300, just because of how much I ship. There's not really a reason to do water changes. Again, if you ship so much coral during the week, and you have to replace that water with freshly mixed salt water or freshly barreled salt water, and we usually do like 20 gallons, maybe 30 gallons a week worth of shipping, depending on what time of year it is. And so that pretty much equates to my normal water change. I usually do 50 gallons a month. And, fortunately, sometimes, we have a lot going out, and, my nutrients are a little low because of it. But, yeah, I mean, average, most people do 20% every 2 weeks on water changes. Seems to be pretty common. I know on the imported system we have running now, I do 20% every week, just because I do feed that tank pretty heavily, keep the fish happy. So, yep, let's go move down. Please hit the like, guys. It stops him from getting grumpy. I don't get grumpy, Scott. I don't care about that stuff. I mean, I appreciate the thumbs up, but I don't get grumpy about it. I can get grumpy. We can go off the rails. You guys want to start asking random questions that aren't reef related? Go ahead. If you guys get it, okay, that's fine. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and just add any question you want to ask. Put that shit in the comment section, and we'll see how long we last. Want to go? You guys want to go that route? That's fine. That's cool. Let's do it. You better buckle the fuck up, because it's going to get bad. Okay, moving on to the reefing questions. I want mostly LPS. Can I still have a few SPS as well? Yes, you can have a few SPS. It just comes down to placement. Most situations and most tanks that want LPS and SPS, they'll put the SPS primarily to the top, and then the LPS will be more towards the bottom. They're not getting as much flow, not as much light, and you can kind of put them in some shady places and stuff like that. But yeah, you can definitely get away with it. Here we go. No, we'll see. We'll see what anybody asks. I lived in Scranton, PA for a few years. Cool, man. I usually drive. I drive through Scranton on my way to Vermont to see my family and stuff. Yeah, we go right up through Scranton. Yeah, just get up, then you get up into New York, and then right over to the Vermont through there. Yeah, pretty familiar with Scranton. We used to do a lot of work up there too. Let that one go through from Gabe. I'm gonna let that one go through just because. Or did it get okay, it did pop up. Okay. All right. I see the other chat, so I got stuff coming in. Okay. Do you think you get more polyp extension from lower par or lower nutrients? I find that I get better polyp extension when I have a little bit more flow and my nutrients are pretty consistent. When I start dipping down and getting out of the appropriate range for nutrients, I find that my polyp extension isn't that great. So if I'm at like 5 ppm of nitrates and say 0.10 or just 0.1 of phosphates, and I have a relatively good amount of flow in the tank, my polyp extension is pretty good around there. As for lower par, I don't think that really hasn't made any difference to me. Definitely, if you're blasting your corals, like if they didn't grow into the light and you're just blasting them, then yeah, you're probably gonna have some polyp extension issues. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. All 7.6. All right, is this part of another question, William? All right, I'm gonna scroll up and see if there's more here. Okay, I don't see it. All 7.6, is this too low to have Coraline algae start to accumulate? 7.6 DKH? No, you can grow Coraline algae in that. I mean, I've seen people grow I've grown Coraline algae under 7. It's not ideal, obviously, but yeah, I mean, it should be fun, or should be fine with that. I don't see any problem with that. Coraline algae really is going to grow based on consistency, not so much if you're at 12 or 7 DKH, but say you're at 9 and you stay at 9 and your nutrients are good and your par is pretty good and all that good stuff. Yeah, I mean, Coraline algae is going to be fine. I mean, it's the fluctuations that kill it off, just like killing off a colony of SPS. The fluctuations is what gets you. There we go. What do you use to wash your hands off when you use hand sanitizer, soap, etc.? Since COVID started to make it safe for putting your hands in tank, what I will do is I will say if I'm out, I have to use hand sanitizer. I'll come home and use a little bit of Dawn dish soap to clean off the hand sanitizer, and then I'll come back in a few minutes. I'll go under as hot as water as I can stand, and then just get all the soap off. And I'll do that a couple times and before I get into the tank. But other than that, that's about it. Because if you notice, when you clean your hands with hand sanitizer, you have that like an oily feeling. I'm assuming that would be bad for your reef tank. So yeah, the Dawn, make sure you excuse me, make sure you get the oiliness off your hand. Let me get a drink here before I start fucking dying. And yeah, so it allows you to get the oils off, and then you can rinse it off with hot water. But yeah. Would you rather have toenail fungus or algae? Like algae on my foot, or just algae in the tank in general? I never had toenail fungus before, so I'm always up for trying new things. So I'll try some toenail fungus. Fuck it, might as well live on the edge. What's the best way to cure monkey butt? Monkey butt. What the fuck is monkey butt? You're gonna need to translate that. I'm not sure what monkey butt is. I don't know. I want to say something inappropriate, but I don't know. Fish Facts, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would? I don't know, like 5? I thought you guys were going to ask real questions. These ones suck. No offense to you guys that are trying, but they suck. All right, moving down. Okay. And any hard opinions on Paul 80 builds? The for tinkering, not EDC. I don't know what the fuck that is. I can Google that real quick. Or not be porn. I mean, I ain't gonna mad, but better not be. Let me look it up. Poly 80. I fucking spelled poly wrong. Jesus. Oh, I forgot the O, man. That's the whole damn word. Oh, fuck that is. Let me look this shit up. This is like a... I don't fuck this is. I don't know what this is. I don't know. I just see a bunch of random videos about Glocks. I don't know. Lost me on that one, man. I don't know what the hell that is. Moving down. Do you think a tapeworm is a good weight loss program? I heard it is. I've seen people with tapeworms, and they don't look that good. They don't look that good at all. I mean, you can try it if you want. Travis, my NO3 equals 25. My PO4 equals 0.25. Are they good? Thanks. Well, your NO3 is a little high, and your PO4 is a little high. So I recommend 3 to 5 ppm of NO3 and 0.07 to 0.15 of PO4. So you're a little higher than you should be. But hey, if you don't have algae, your coloration's good, your polyp extension's good, then fuck it, man. It's good. Leave it alone. Gold bond for monkey butt. I don't know what monkey. Okay, this is it. I'm gonna Google monkey butt because shit. Why not, right? Fucking feel bad for anybody looking at my search history. Monkey butt, and then it comes up with peanut butter spread. What the fuck are you people in? What is it? What the fuck is monkey butt? I'm gonna put that. What the fuck is monkey butt? The comfortable result of your and the uncomfortable result of your ass sweating or sharks. A wet, painful, and irritating condition of the butt causes it to swell and turn red like monkey butt. Okay, can be caused by prolonged wear or wet clothes, anal sex, lacking of wiping, and sweat. Okay, well, you fucking people, man. So yeah, I guess use Gold Bond powder for your monkey butt. You should be all right. Oh, that was a good one. Nailed it. Thanks, Matt. That was good. Welcome to the Reefing channel for all you whoever unfortunately logged on to Fish FX's live stream while I gave you the definition of monkey butt. Welcome. You are an hour late to the shit show. Buckle up because we're not done yet. Okay, moving down to a reef-related question. How do you get your RODI water? Well, I make it. I take water from the city. It comes through the pipes. Then it goes through an RODI system, and it goes to RODI barrel. That's about it. Okay, dry rock versus live rock. Seems like a lot of people that just start with dry rock only has problems with SPS. Well, I started with dry rock, and I ain't got no problems. You know why? because I cured that shit and made it live. Appreciate it. David, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it, man. You're always giving me super chats for extra strength and gold bond. Thanks, man. Fucking Dave, man. Appreciate it, buddy. I will use it. And good night, by the way. All right. What's the best medication in quarantine tank to use as a cure-all medication? I've heard copper power, but not sure. I usually use Cupramine. That seems to be my starting point. I'll keep, generally a pretty low level of it in my quarantine tanks at all time. As long as I know I have fish coming in. And then once the fish are in for a few days, then I will bump it up to the recommended amount per the bottle. Of course, I test with the HANA checker to make sure the levels are correct. And let it go through its 2-week process. And then once the fish comes out, I do water changes, use carbon to get the medication out. And then I usually use Prazipro for a couple weeks. And then we're pretty much at the 4 to 6 week mark at that point. And then, pull out the fish. We're good to go. So that's my process. Mm-hmm. Do you believe men that drive large pickups are compensating? Well, I drive a large pickup, and yes. Yes, I am. All nuts down here, guys. I'm all nuts. That's it. Not a lot of shaft, but I got a lot of nuts. That's okay. That's all that matters. Moving down. And by the way, thank you, Travis, for the Reef Tank for Veterans. Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to our next build. Whenever this COVID bullshit's over, we can go back to normal and start doing Reef Tanks. I'm actually going to the gym now because I don't give a shit. I was like, I got to get out of the house. I don't give a shit, man. Cough on me. I don't care. I'm just kidding. No, I just, people stay away from each other. All the 6 foot this, 6 foot that, wear your damn mask, all that crap. Yeah, once that's all over, we can really get the Reef Tank for Veterans stuff going again. And big plans in the future for that. We got stomped when this crap, took off on us. How do you know when your light is at correct intensity? Well, it really depends on the coral too. So every coral is gonna like different types of light, the percent or intensity. Also, even if you got say a wild grown staghorn, you get the same staghorn that was grown in a tank and was given to you. They might like different types of light intensity. So your goal is, or what you should do is get your lights at the intensity you feel is good, and then use a par meter to make sure you're within an acceptable range for the type of coral you're trying to grow. So if you're trying to grow SPS and you put your lights on there and you test your par and you're only at like 90 par, well, you're not at an optimal par range. So you want to get up to that 250, 350, 450 range and then go from there. Vice versa, if you're just trying to grow soft corals and you're at 800 par, well then you kind of got to adjust down for that. So put your par range or test your par at the range of the type of corals you want to grow, and then just make sure it's in that acceptable range. That's your best bet, and then you can move, go from there. I'm looking to start a 30-gallon long. How many lights and which kind would you recommend for a beginner starting off with Zoas? Okay, so a 30-gallon long lights. I like the Prime HDs. They're pretty cool. I mean, if you're not looking, you don't want to spend a ton of money. So it's a 30-gallon long. What's that like? Is that a 36-inch tank? Maybe. How long is? I don't know. I think I would say something like that. So you probably get away with 3 HD primes or even 2, but you raise them up higher, and that way you don't have to have the intensity as much. You still get the spread. So consider maybe doing that. Yeah, I mean, or if you want to do something like T5s, if you don't want to spend as much money, I mean, you're just growing Zoas, so maybe even a cheap T5 fixture would be beneficial. Just remember, you got to replace the bulbs once a year. So, it's really up to you and your budget, but you should be good. Acropora eating flatworms killed my motivation for reefing. Everyone thinks the tank still looks great, but all I see is a lot of wasted time and money. 2 weeks of quarantine and dips is not enough for eggs. Nope. And we talked about this before, Glenn. Acropora eating flatworms are awful. I wouldn't wish them on anybody, not even my worst enemy on YouTube. I would not wish those on them. They're awful, man. And the number one reason why you should buy acros from me, because you're not getting them. You're not going to get Acropora eating flatworms from me, because I'd be in shit out of luck if I had them. But that's why you want to quarantine your corals. you know, any coral, especially your Acropora. Minimum of 2 months. You know, and basically what you do is you take the coral frag, you bring it in, you cut it off the plug, you put it on a new plug, you put it in a nice healthy system, and then you observe that joker for 2 months. And if you don't see any flesh being eaten, you don't see any eggs, then you're good, you know, pretty good to put that safely, put that in another system. I would still cut off the plug and then put the stick, what's left of it, in your system. So yeah, Acropora eating flatworms are awful. Awful. They suck so bad. I've had them. And when I was importing acros, I've had them. I wiped out hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of dollars worth of Acropora colonies in my imported system when I got them. It was just, fuck it, and it sucked. So I am, 7 minutes behind on chat? That's not too bad. We are 1 hour in. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys. And again, might as well do a little intermission here. Sale on the website. You guys can see it scrolling at the bottom. Use the code welcome back and you get 10% off your order on everything. Just use it at checkout. All right. Moving down. I was going to try to pull a Ben Shapiro there and do some advertisement, but that's all I got. We have no sponsors for this channel. All right, here we go. What happened to your AI Nero 5s? What do you mean? Like in the 300? This video that's up right now was before I even put them in the 300, and I took them out and put them in my frag tanks just for some more flow. I still have them. I still have all the Neros. If you ever worked outdoors all day in the sun, you would know what monkey butt is. Yeah. Or you've walked all day with a rucksack in a combat zone with your rifle. Yeah, you definitely know. I mean, I've had chafage so bad that I had blisters on the inside of my legs just running all the way down, and then your nuts are raw, straight raw. So yeah, that's fun too. Okay. My 20 has 4-month cycle. Am I ready for SPS? Only you know if you're ready for SPS. Yeah, you should be fine. If you've grown them before and you feel comfortable, I don't see why not. You'd be all right. If not, then you're not ready for them. All right. If you had to do sand, what would you use? Oh no, definitely nothing too fine because I have a lot of flow in my systems, and the finer the sand, the more of the chance that stuff's going to get blown around the tank. So I don't really know what sand I would use. Maybe I'll do sand in a build coming up at some point. Maybe. I like the way sand looks. It just doesn't. Maybe I'll do it for my LPS tank on the next setup. When I do my tribute tank for Brian with his Lobo, and we do all LPS and soft cores. I said SPS. I didn't mean to say that. I'll probably put sand in that tank. I don't see why not. We'll give it a shot. I just can't wait for all the Reef shows to start again. Is everybody taking a break? Is that what's going on? Am I not the only one taking some time off? I don't really watch a lot of Reef. I don't really, actually, to be honest with you, I don't watch any Reef channels on YouTube. I just don't. I'm consumed with it every day. Last thing I want to do is watch reefing stuff. So, my bad. When you get this new house and new system, are you going to do a separate tank for separate types of corals to not really do a mixed reef? My plan is to do in the house to do one system, kind of like I have now, but have the 300 upstairs, have the 1,000 downstairs, and then of course have all the frag tanks down in the basement for that. But I'm gonna, for that system alone, it's gonna be just SPS because as I mentioned before, I'm having issues with zoas and stuff like that are kind of spreading around the rock structures and killing off corals and shit. So that system alone will be just SPS and Acropora. Okay. Now for the LPS and the soft corals and all that kind of stuff, that would be Doug's calling me again. Let me fucking pick this up. Give me a second. He keeps calling me. Guys, go take a shit. Let me get this. All right, I'm back. My buddy Doug just hit a deer, hit it in the head, and he's about to use his doe tag. He wants to bring it over and butcher it. So we're gonna see about that. Let me text him my address. Give me a second. Son of a bitch. So yeah, I might have to go here in a second. Let me wait, where the fuck's this thing? But yeah, I guess that's one way to fill your tag. I almost said my address out loud while I was fucking typing it. I can't even spell it right. All right, cool. So he's gonna come over, and I'm gonna help him do that. Anyway, so we're gonna do a few more minutes until, or at least until he calls me, and then I'm gonna have to go. All right, so let's go and get this going. Yeah, he smoked it with his truck, man. Fucking hit it right in the head. That's fun. Well, he drives a piece of shit anyway, so it don't matter. Need to know. Okay. I need to know your thoughts on aliens, please. Is Davis Fravor TikTok? I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Glenn. I'm pretty. I don't, Doug. Gabe. I don't know if you need to have a tag. I'm pretty sure. Well, he has a bunch of doe tags right now, anyway. So I think you do. I'm not sure. He just called me and asked me if I could help him. So he's an older guy, so he probably barely pick it up. So I'm pretty sure you can use a tag. I don't know all that stuff. Darren, hey, thanks for the super chat. But yeah, I don't know that whole situation. It would be smart to use a tag, obviously. Here we go. How do those flatworms look? How do those flatworms look like? Oh, you're talking about the Acropora eating flatworms? Well, you can't really see them. Okay, I mean you can if you really get in there. What you're going to be looking for is the eggs, and those are really easy to find. They're actually going to be at the base of the coral, and you actually see where it's kind of chewed up at the base, where it's starting to like STN and recede, and that's where you're going to see the eggs. You can't miss them. They're literally like little brown turds, really small turds. They're just right there. You can't miss them. So yeah, I mean, fuck, man, Acropora eating flatworms. That's why I buy acros from you, trusted source. No offense, X. Yeah. I definitely wouldn't be able to sell the corals I have if I had freaking Acropora eating flatworms. Brightwell, I think, is coming out with a product called Acropora eating flatworm X. Yeah, hopefully it works as well as their Aptasia X. I think that is that who makes that? I don't fucking know. I know that shit don't work. But yeah. When was the last time you saw a snail fart bubbles? You remember that video, Gabe? That was funny. That just worked out great during that video. I still remember in the 125 that snail was shitting bubbles on the way up the front of the glass while I was recording. I remember that video very, very much. Are you into freshwater? Yes, I did have a 125 freshwater, moved it around. I do have a BioCube freshwater planted tank actually next to my desk down here. I really love freshwater. I really love cichlids, and I will be back in that at some point. I'm not really sure when, but some point. Is the Trident B and C reagent the same thing? Can I swap them and be fine? Actually, Glenn, I don't know. I've never tested it. I guess I could test that at some point, but I have yet to do it. You might have to do a little bit of Google search on that one. Let's go and see what else we got here. Let's see what I have here. Thanks, Travis, for the recommendations on the lights. The tank is 36 by 18. Yeah, I thought it was 36 by 13. I like the AI line and the ease of use with the app. Yep. Excited to try it. What would be your ideal plumbing style method? Well, I run into a sump. Obviously, I mean a sump. I mean, you can, if you're drilling it, of course, you can do the drill the overflow box. I do have a few videos on actually how to do that. So, yeah, I mean that's probably the best I can tell you. You definitely want to run a sump. Just scroll down here. Does UV help with dinos? Yes, it absolutely does. I will tell you, since I installed that Aqua UV, which I got to do that update video on that. Shit, they're going to get on me about that one. So expect the Aqua UV update at some point. Ever since I installed that, remember I mentioned that I was having issues with dinos because of all the shipping, the low nutrients, yada, yada, yada. Dinos really aren't an issue since I've installed that UV. Even at the sub-optimal flow rate that I have, it's still working out pretty good. So, yeah, that's fine. What is your favorite LPS? I like the Lobo that I got from Brian, of course. It's my favorite. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a lot of, I don't know, LPS. I mean, shit. Of course, frog spawns, torches, hammers, that stuff always looks good. It just doesn't appeal to me like SPS does. I mean, you either, I don't know, you can like both, but I prefer SPS. Let's see here. Oh, shit. Hey, Travis, I have a 50-gallon cube with clowns and a goby. Any stock ideas? Don't do any more than 2 clowns. Goby's fine. Chromis. I mean, Chromis are pretty cool. Just don't get a ton of them. Hippo Tang. No, I'm kidding, man. No, don't do that. I don't know. Blennies are pretty cool. The hawkfish, not the hawkfish. Is it the hawkfish? The red one that doesn't really swim much. It just kind of perches on the rock. I think is that a hawkfish? It's the red fish that sits on rocks, whatever the fuck that is. That looks pretty cool. Yeah. See you later, Glenn. Should I get a silver arowana or a Jardina arowana? Well, I'd say make sure you have a big enough tank with a nice, tight, secure lid if you're going to get any arowana, because yeah, those will make a mess of your lid, and they'll be on the floor, and you probably won't be home during that process. So yeah, yeah, I don't know too much about them. I've always wanted one, just never got into it. Do you have a good joke? No, I mean, I'm sure I could pull a Michael Scott and go look one up real quick, but no, I don't really have any joke off the top of my head. Hello, Travis. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I just got some new clowns and a bicolor blenny. Sweet. Sweet. What is the lighting par? Do you still run hybrid light things? Yes, I run hybrid T5 and LEDs on my main display. Everything else is LED, and it's the AB plus spectrum, and I stay in my frag tanks. I stay around 250, 350 par. In my main display, it's 250 up to like 800 right now. So freaking choking on air again over here. But that's the display tank. All right, we're going to probably do a couple more questions here. Thanks for answering. I was just curious if it's possible to have green cyano with low nutrients, zero, and I mean zero algae in the tank. I would think if I had a PO4 problem, the tank would have show it. Thank you. I don't really know how to answer that question. I mean, I've never heard of green cyano before. I mean, it's probably possible. I've never seen it personally, and I have never really looked it up. Zero. I mean, zero algae in tank. I mean, I don't really know. I wish I could give you an answer from that, but I'm one of those people. If I don't know the answer, I'm not going to pretend that I know, and I'm not going to pull some random shit on my ass to make you feel better. I can't give you an answer on that. I don't know. So sorry about that. Yeah. Do you play Among Us? No, I do not. The only game that I play is World of Warcraft, and I haven't even played that much. Maybe when the expansion finally hits, I'll try it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Life's busy. But guys, I think that's it for the live stream. We've been going for an hour and 14 minutes, so I appreciate it. Again, if you guys want to check out the coral sale, I'm going to have that running probably for the rest of the year, maybe, depending on kind of stock is. If you guys start blowing out all the coral, I'm going to have to knock them down and stop doing, buy one, get one free. So if you want to take advantage of that, go ahead and do it. I ship Monday through Thursday with next day delivery, and that's on coral. I'm pretty much caught up on all my 3D printed orders now that I just got to fix some of those printers. But yeah, if you want 3D printed stuff, my turnaround time is getting pretty darn good thanks to having all the printers. So, thanks for all the support on that. But yeah, guys, that's about it for the live stream. Appreciate you being here. And apparently I'm going to go help butcher a deer. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.